What up? This is Corey Nobley.
This is Nick Olivieri.
This is our golden hour.
Oh God, what's going on? Where am I going? Dad?
Yes, my son. I am Deuce, the deer god.
I'm so confused. Who am I?
Derek. Your true name is DERCULES.
Wait, what?
Yes. You are DERCULES, the god of the forest. Season 5. Hosted by your favorite podcast host, Big Bochi. You already know the deal, motherfucker. What's up? Double clap signifies the start of an episode. And before we begin, I got a quick announcement. It's going to be very quick because I've been making the sales pitch for about 9 hours a day, every day for the past 3 weeks. And for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to keep doing it. I'll probably increase to about 14 hours because I love throwing successful events. It's just fun. Listen, everybody. On January 17th, the Golden Deer team is throwing the fattest networking event ever in Boston. There's infrequently in the city, at least I've noticed since I've been here in building for the past 2 years, there's infrequently been connection between people who are building things for themselves in the city. You may meet some people, but it's here and there. And you guys are just starting on this entrepreneurial journey, and I know what it's like, man, because I'm pretty much just starting too. It's tough to meet people when you're overly consumed 18 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm thinking is like, let's just get all the same like-minded psychos in the same place, have them come, set up tables, market their brand, market their product, and there's going to be a live pitch competition there that's going to be uploaded to one of the largest YouTube channels in Boston. And I don't know if you guys are legal, but there's free refreshments, alcoholic.
I'm 21 in Maine, so maybe that'll pass.
Well, what we'll do is we'll take that off the record, so in case you want to drink at the event, nobody knows your age, all right? Nonetheless, again, hey everyone, this is Conor, Holway of the Golden Hours podcast, and if you by chance get any sort of value from this episode, whether you laugh, cry, get a little bit of information, or you're entertained, man, just share it with a friend. That's all we ask. And if you don't have any friends,
You shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
you should be listening to podcasts.
Take a share with family.
Share with the fam. That's a fact. Okay. Before I announce my guest today, who's producing the episode? Who is it? Let's go.
Auntie's on the mic.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Auntie's on the mic. We got my auntie here, straight from New York. He's coming here, holding it down. He got a little loose last night. That's why he looks like a bandit this morning. That's my guy, though. And on my right, I have two individuals. And I've caught the startup bug, man, recently. I've just been very fascinated on how people get ideas and the inception of ideas. And to be honest, when I had seen your guys' stuff online, I was like, I didn't really think you were going to be younger than me. I was like, damn, it's pretty professional. Good for you guys. I'm sure you guys get that a lot.
The age thing?
Yeah.
Some good, some bad, but it's
No, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
Start now, because we're all going to take tons of L's. Might as well start now and just take them and then in stride. Then when we're in our 30s, we'll have millions of bucks. And we'll be on yachts.
It's the best time, man. You don't have as many bills to pay. You don't have kids that are, going through college right now. So,
Dude, I don't want to talk about
best
kids.
time.
Dude, do you have any friends that have kids yet, Auntie?
I've got a couple, and it's actually pretty weird to see. Because they shouldn't be parents, and they have like 2 kids.
It's just strange. Like, how does your your mindset just must totally switch? I just think so selfishly, I think sometimes in terms of like building my own career, and like my day-to-day is so occupied by building that I couldn't even imagine just like having like a little someone you got to take care of.
Yeah, I've got invited to my first like wedding for my friends next like May, and it's so weird to see people actually get married. I would never make that life decision right now.
Oh God,
Just blackout in Southie every weekend. So,
well,
How old are you guys again?
I'm 24. I just turned 24.
23.
Nonetheless, I have the men from GeoProtein up.
Yep.
Yes,
So
sir.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll let you talk. And this is Nick and Corey, right? Do you guys want to give a quick synopsis of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so
And
Corey
you can just
Nobley.
grab that. You'll feel it. It will sound robust.
Right there. All right, perfect. So, so my name's Corey Nobley, founder and CEO of GeoProtein.
Yeah, I'm Nick Olivieri. I'm the COO, co-founder, GeoProtein.
Yeah, so GeoProtein, we're basically a functional foods company that is pioneering the future of, functional foods, convenient nutrition, and single-use bioplastics. So, a lot of what we do is taking these complex medicinal issues that, once used to be left to pharmaceuticals and, medicine and, doctors to fix. We're taking those issues and we're using whole foods to kind of solve those same problems. We have a neurosurgeon that's our chief product officer, and, we want each of our products to solve and, help everything in your body, from your muscles to your gut to your brain to your heart to your eyes. So,
when did
brief synopsis.
Go ahead.
So right now, when you look at health foods, when you look at nutrition, it's convenience that's driving it. Like even right now, I don't know what's in that cup, whether it's water or a shake or whatever, but it's convenient.
What do you think it is?
I'm gonna go with water.
Black coffee, baby.
There you go.
Straight
there you
up
go.
Keurig.
Yeah,
Let's go.
but like, why are you drinking black coffee? It's probably because, okay, sugar would make it taste better, but you don't want the sugar. It's bad for you, inflammation, all that stuff, right?
Curveball. It's because I'm an avid intermittent faster and helps blunt my appetite.
Okay, well there you go. Well, but you're still health conscious all the same though. So
Health conscious, health psycho.
okay, well even better.
I'm with you.
Even
guys.
better.
I'm with the GeoProtein.
Yeah,
Intermittent
that's-
fasting has been one of the the number one things that's been directly correlated with longevity. Surprisingly enough,
But see-
it caught a lot of flack for years, but now people are really accepting it.
My thing about longevity studies, how do we know? Because they've only been around for 50 years. They haven't even been around for a couple people's lifetimes at this point.
Well, if you look, if you look at like what your body is supposed to be doing to achieve longevity. So if you take like a pool of people and you're like, all right, these people all lived until they were 95, and they had great healthy lives. They died of natural causes. So what were their bodies like throughout this this lifespan?
I guess benchmarking it.
And then basically you can benchmark it. So better REM cycles when you're sleeping. That's a big one. What type of diet you have. Mediterranean diets have been proven. To
I know we had a dietitian up here who was
Yeah.
heavy on the Mediterranean diet.
So
Do you
I
guys
think-
practice that?
No, but
Kind of tough to do.
It's really tough unless you live
expensive.
in like Madrid.
Well, exactly, and it's like it's heavily plant based and like a little bit of meat for the most part, and then it's like some fish in there. That's pretty much what
a
it
lot
is,
a lot
right?
of healthy fats, proteins. Yeah, but basically, you just find out what led to these healthy long lives, and you could kind of break that down and say, all right, well, if you do intermittent fasting, for example, that will contribute to this. But it's not the only thing. But
Well, it's autophagy, which I think is the biggest link, and I'm sure you guys are totally aware of like cellular regeneration and stuff like that. But one reason I really like it is because it totally boosts my cognition. And I don't. Have you guys ever experimented with it?
It makes you focused.
Wildly focused.
Completely,
But,
yeah.
But that's when you're in your peak fasted state. Like right now, I ate last night at like 9:30. I'm not in that peak fasted state. I haven't eaten yet, but it's once you reach that like that 16-hour mark to that 20-hour mark, you're like, yo, wow, I am a testosterone fueled beast. Let's go.
yeah, there's
You guys have never tried it?
I was just gonna say college. Actually, I actually never started intermittent fasting going into it saying this is what I'm gonna do, but being prescribed Adderall for ADD plus a college dining hall means that you're going to be doing intermittent fasting because the only time you're going to want to eat is at midnight, after you just worked all day.
You take the sauce every day?
Huh?
Do you take the sauce every day?
Mostly, yeah.
Dude. Auntie. Who am I?
Adderall boy over here.
So I made a film called The Adventures of Adderall Boy.
Oh my God.
In a college kid, he takes Adderall and turns into a superhero.
Is this animated?
No, it's not, but it's
Oh.
real.
Should be.
It was the first Golden Deer production, first major one. And dude, I had a really bad battle with Adderall. Are you able to maintain? Like, I started out really normal, and I'm not saying you'll go down this path either. But dude, I started abusing the shit out of it.
So
What do you take those? You take those blue Skittles?
No, I take the 25 milligram XR full day.
The orange bomber? Or the blue bomber?
Yeah, and then the orange.
Oh.
My thing with Adderall is, I'm definitely, if the trade-off is, lack of appetite, a little bit of lack of sleep, versus enhanced cognitive function, I'm always going to side with enhance cognitive function. So I can focus, be there all day, no crashes with the XR. So it
How
works.
long have you been
but-
taking it for?
So my parents knew I had like ADD since I was probably like 5 or 6, but they were they're anti-pill pushing, I guess. So it was actually when I was 18, summer before my first year of college, that I actually got prescribed.
Dude.
But the doctor was basically like, really, you just got it now? Like, how did you get through public school?
Well,
I was
they're
like, I
also
don't know either.
prescribing it like crazy. But you'll also realize moving forward, I have at least the past 2 years, that ADHD is actually, I mean, not with the detailed work, obviously, but in terms of being able to multitask and get certain things done, dude, it's actually a total weapon. And you're more sociable because of it. Do you feel that way?
I definitely, yeah. So I've actually always like wondered, like, is ADD even real? Is ADHD even real? Is it more like a personality trait that different personality types have if you're into like personality or type psychology? But I definitely think that I've always been someone that definitely tries to multitask a little bit too much. But I kind of flipped my view on what that was when I started taking Adderall, because now I can kind of like hone in on each of these things and I'm trying to multitask on and just do it way quicker. So I think you're right. It can be definitely weaponized.
Just don't abuse it. That's coming from old Uncle Bochi.
Yeah.
I had some tough nights off the sauce, dog.
Because of sleep or appetite or what?
No, I would
Heart?
just abuse it. I loved being baked off the Adderall, bro. I loved it. Because you're like, holy shit, I can get shit done that I could never get done without this thing.
You're every doctor's worst nightmare in the Northeast.
Absolutely. Well, I stopped, dude. This year, I was like, all right, I'm just done taking this. And I've been like wildly productive this year. But I also have a pretty addictive personality, so.
Yeah, that's...
I don't mean to scare you. If you're doing it the right way, just do your thing.
Nah, it's funny. Like, doctors are so strict about it now. I don't even know. So
Really?
So I didn't go to... So you're supposed to go to a med check-in every like 3 months or so, and I missed one of them when I was at school, and I went back to my doctor to get my prescription refilled, and he sat me down. He's like, listen, it's a controlled substance. They're cracking down on it harder than ever before. I'm not prescribing you again. So...
You were like, doc, I need this.
Yeah,
shit,
no,
man."
that was my doctor. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I missed a med check. So, and then he literally had to get a new doctor.
Wow.
And he tried to like flag me in some system too, so no doctors would prescribe me because he thought I was like selling it.
Oh, were you flipping it?
No, I just missed a med check, but
I feel you.
they're cracking down though.
Okay, so you guys, when did you start getting the health kick kind of like, shoot, there's all this, I'm sure this is based heavily on the fact that like there's all these depressed people and people with anxiety in our society. A lot of this is linked to poor diet and not necessarily some of the other factors that people are contributing it to. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
I would say so, yeah. I mean, you said you notice a difference. I notice a huge difference when I'm eating right or just I'm conscious of what I'm putting in my body. Everything you do is better, and then you just you do everything better in general. So, like, if you have fruit early on in the day or whatever, like it's the thing I found though is it's really tapered to the individual. So like intermittent fasting probably works for you. It might not work for everyone. And some people just, they don't take fruit well, or certain types of fruit or whatever else it may be. But overall though, I've found that the basic trends on how to be healthy, it's pretty basic. It's like eat stuff that's good for you, sleep when you're tired, maybe get some exercise in there, but that's it. And it's like everything else.
That's universal.
Exactly. But still, even though it's so simple, people don't practice it. People think that, oh, I'm going to go ketogenic, and they do these complex things and they calculate everything. But really, base health, if you want to be a healthy person, you don't need to look like, I don't know, like Ronaldo, right? Eat good things, sleep when you're tired. And people still, they don't want to think it's simple. They don't want to think it's about discipline and focus, or just getting things in your body that are good for you. They think it's about going ketogenic, reaching ketosis, or something else that's some sort of a fad.
Well, everyone wants to, but the fads also sometimes are effective. Like there's been a big paleo fad recently, don't you?
Huge.
So, yeah, and just to address like all these diets and fads and stuff. So, I think it's actually pretty crazy that some people will literally see someone a completely different body type, the mesomorph, endomorph, ectomorph, You see completely different body type, completely different age. They live in a different state, environment. Everything is different. And they see a diet working for them, so they think that they can just pick it up and they'll get the same results. And the fact that that still happens, it's crazy. It reminds me of when I was even younger and just how the times have changed. I'm not that old at all. When I saw those tabloids, it's like, hey, take this diet pill. You don't see as much of that anymore. And then people would get on this, $20 a week program to take diet pills. Like, I just think it's pretty crazy that people see these diets, try to latch onto them, try to recreate what someone that's completely different did. What Nick said, like, what you have to do is, find a diet that works for you. For example, I'm not keto, but I know that my body likes higher fat, higher protein, and that's just how I have more energy throughout the day. So I think it's a lot of trial and error and just like experimenting with different foods. Because if you're just trying to recreate what other people have just been doing, you're never really going to make any true progress with health.
You said paleo, that's a huge trend, but there's a reason why that's a trend. It's like that's actually a lot less complex than something like the ketogenic diet.
Have you tried the keto?
No. It's not.
Have you tried it?
I'm like basically keto just because I eat the high fat, high protein, but
if you have any carbs, dude, you're not really in ketosis.
Yeah. Well, it just depends on when you get those carbs.
Well, you have to have like a sustained period of not eating any carbs. I used to do the
like
pea
10
strips
hours?
and everything. No, I think for me it was 6 days until I really tapped into ketosis.
Oh, mother of God, 6 days.
It's like 6 days, and then your body starts only producing ketones for energy. I did it.
Instead of
And what'd you think?
I was like eating eggs with like sour cream and like bacon bits, and like right now it sounds good, but dude, it like you just feel greasy. It's like gross.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of gross.
I didn't get any leaner. I mean the big thing was I was trying to lean out at the time. I was like 210, and then I tried the keto. I ended up gaining weight because it's like, dude, you're eating gross shit. And then I just realized, dude, the only way to really lose weight is that caloric deficit.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
That's also something people. I think. Do you watch Bill Burr ever?
I don't.
Oh, he was saying on one of his stand-ups, he's like, I don't get why people can't lose weight. Like, if you want to lose weight, just eat less, or work out more. So, but like, if you just had a caloric deficit, that's one of the few tried and true ways.
But once again, it's simple. Like, it's literally simple when you harken back to it, and you can build on things. But like, it's simple. So get good things in your body. What we do is we have this whole food solution. It's just real stuff.
So elaborate on whole foods for me.
So Whole Foods, not processed at all, and it's almost like paleo. But basically, what we want to do is, if you broke down our ingredient deck, right, and you took each of our ingredients and you just put it on a table in its pure form, you could eat that and it would be good for you by itself. Every single one of the ingredients are like that, and they all come from a whole natural source.
How do you source your foods?
So they're all domestically sourced via our manufacturer. We basically let them know what we want. Our formula, our chief product officer researches it. He actually has a few people that also can help out with that from time to time. Send it to them. They source it all domestically. It's all produced domestically. And
and we have a facility that basically just runs our formula. So
FDA, GMP, SQF certified. So we globally recognized food safety standards and procedures. So
we could sell it in Russia.
So for instance, you say you have coconut oil in it. What else you got in there? Like some monk fruit or something?
So we got, stevia. We have lion's mane, so from a reishi mushroom, which is a great brainstem. We have a maca root. We have kale in there. We have a pea protein isolate. We have
what type of protein?
Pea protein isolate.
Oh, pea protein. Okay.
Mm-hmm. We actually made a big shift from a whey protein to a pea protein, making a 100% plant-based bar. So the why, so it's not like we're trying to target vegans or kind of hop on that bandwagon. We're actually focused on a completely different type of person, and that's the Flexitarian. I don't know if you've heard about the Flexitarian diet, but essentially it's super popular with Gen Z, but it's, you'll still eat meat, you'll still eat, eggs, dairy, whatever, but when you have the chance to eat plant-based and when you have the opportunity to eat something that maybe is a little more environmentally friendly or, cleaner, you will take that chance, right? Or you will take that every time. So sort of like the Beyond Meat burgers, even though they're not a vegan, they'd probably pick those over the traditional beef.
Have you guys tried those?
Yes.
Very good. Very good.
Surprisingly
Beyond sausage at Dunks too. Real good. I like that. and the burgers are fine. I've only tried the Burger King variant, but you know, it's whatever. They do a good job at hiding everything and making it seem natural. But yeah, it's
It
good.
seems like very like chemical based to me.
Well, there's a lot of sodium, and it is highly processed, so there are some drawbacks, obviously.
So that's what I was gonna say. Is that ultimately healthier for you than just eating like an all organic grass fed meat?
That's been the big debate with all these plant-based foods and, you know, burgers and whatnot. There's even it starts with an N. There's the plant-based seafood company, and they make shrimp. And apparently it's all plant-based, just tastes like shrimp. But it's a good question.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know, to be completely honest with you, I don't know the specific differences, you know, that really matter between the plant-based burger and the traditional burger, but you hear it's like egg whites or egg yolks and coffee. Like, you'll have 1,000 websites telling you one thing and 1,000 other studies telling you another. So trial and error.
Just quickly back to your ingredients. So you guys, how do you know exactly where the ingredients are coming from? Like, what farm is the coconut oil being processed at? Do you guys know that, or are you just like, yo, manufacturer, just hook it up?
So basically, we give our manufacturer some specific guidelines. Like, hey, it has to be within the U.S. Has to be, you know, either if it's a non-GMO bar, non-GMO. If it's gluten-free, gluten-free. Whatever our specifications are, and then they go out and source that. It's a lot cheaper to do it that way versus us making individual relationships with each of these farms.
The thing is, though, and while we can't tell you like, oh, like these almonds are from Central Valley, California, right? Like, what we can say is basically because of the certifications and because of, you know, all the FDA guidelines are super stringent. Like, you can't get past a thing with these guys. And so we know that everything is very safe, everything is sound, and then, you know, we have some organic things, and it's like, if it's verified organic, we'll say it. But it's all whole foods, it's all everything else. So tracing back every ingredient is nearly impossible for us, but that doesn't mean it can't still be very safe, and it's all domestic. So
why start in the nutrition space of all spaces? So this is your first company. You guys have, most people have like shit they start when they're younger.
We actually met in 6th grade band class. Quit right after that. It was terrible.
Who was playing the clarinet?
not I.
We were
Trombone?
both trumpet guys. Oh no! Believe me, it was terrible.
You were those guys.
Unfortunately,
Trumpet
yes,
guys.
we were those guys.
I used to play the trumpet.
Yeah,
I remember that C note, no fingers on the C note, right?
Yep.
I don't even know what that. I don't even remember. I remember I would like leave my trumpet at home so I wouldn't have to do it in class. But
It's not very fun.
I remember like stuffing like mad shit into it and still trying to play it.
but that worked well.
Sounds kind of dangerous.
Well, I was just manipulating the sound. You know what I'm saying? A little creative spin on it.
Right.
So you guys, did you have like other startups? You guys grew up besties.
Sorta. So it's funny. We we always actually had different like main friend groups. But we actually got to a point where we were hanging out with each other, quite frequently at a certain point. But we never actually were hanging out. Like, one of my other friends was like, hey, let's just hang out and watch a movie, whatever. It would always be to like work on some venture or do something along those lines, right?
Like what?
So, for example, one of the first things that kind of drew me to Nick was, one, we met in band class. We talked about a lot of cool things. We talked about real estate and whatnot. But he was developing mobile apps. When he was like 12, 13, I was like, this is really, really fucking cool. Like, there's
You were the young whiz kid, Nick.
Kind of. I developed mobile games through high school. And and basically they weren't very good, but each one kind of iterated upon the last one. They got better at least, but I definitely learned a lot. So,
but yeah, they weren't good, but how good were the ones that everyone else was making?
Yeah,
they weren't.
Yeah,
the fact you're doing it at a young age, yeah, totally. And so, did you ever have a sort of like business sense at the time, or?
Yeah. So at the same time he was doing that, I was doing a few things with clothing. I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs get into clothing at one point in their lives, but
T-shirts,
at least when they're younger. It started out as it was going to be this like a Japanese-inspired clothing brand called Okazi, and it kind of turned into something called Armory Apparel.
Whoa!
Where we partnered with the VFW, largest veterans charity in the country.
Familiar. My father spends time in a VFW.
Nice, yeah, and it was a patriotic clothing line. We donated a percentage to the VFW, and we actually sold that IP to Under Armour, which was completely random, but because they
What
wanted to
IP,
buy the
the
company.
trademark?
Literally just the trademark, nothing. It was all luck.
Why do they want Armory Apparel? Just because they didn't want the crossovers? Like probably a keyword
A
association.
JV with Champ Sports, where they made a physical retail location called Armory,
Wow.
and they did
Damn,
that.
that's a home run
after
for you,
I
right?
yeah.
How much did they cut you the check for that?
So they basically said they tried to spin it that we were infringing on their trademark, Under Armour.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly wasn't. Didn't have the funds to go after them, so we settled for $2,000. They gave me the company was dead at that point, anyways. Got $2,000, so
And you're in a high school kid, you're like 2Gs from Under Armour. This is the coolest thing of all time.
it was pretty sweet. But yeah, and then after that, kind of got into like selling sneakers and stuff. And then Nick and I, we decided to make a little investment in a Facebook group called Yeezy Marketplace, and this was, I think at the time it had probably like 30,000 members,
a little less.
And we bought this Facebook group, and essentially it's StockX or Goat. So it's
It's a sneaker flipping.
but it's decentralized. So we don't take any of the commission, or we don't take any of the commission from the buyers, sales, anything like that. And now we just actually hit 100,000 members a couple weeks ago.
So you guys are still operating the group.
Yeah, and we haven't put we bought it for $400. We haven't put a single dollar into advertising for them, and we just got quoted at $1,000 per sponsored post, like what we should be charging brand partners. So,
And what are you charging right now?
so we actually we're trying to find the right brand partner, because if you look like who's going to want to sponsor a pre-owned sneaker marketplace, and we're looking for sneaker cleaning
niche.
companies, we're looking for sneaker customization companies, but
Why don't you try to partner with like a sneaker, like a brick and mortar retail location, kind of like an Expressions? or
we're in over
at least-
100 countries. That's why it's tough. If they're tied to one location, it's like, all right, well, we got like I think it's like 40,000 people are in the U.S.
Yeah.
and the rest are overseas.
But
it's pretty crazy.
yeah,
It's a-
so with that, you need something either direct or digital, and if you don't, then it better be an international brick and mortar retailer.
That's sweet though. And that's like probably the easiest thing to operate of all time.
and yeah, we're almost at literally. And I have
Just sit back, watch it grow.
we basically have a bunch of admins and moderators, people that like selling shoes, who will basically clean up the page and run it for free,
And you
just
trust
to
these
say
people?
that. Yeah, because basically they're doing the largest books of business. We have people that are selling like maybe like 20, 30 pairs a week. These people are pulling in like $500,000 a year profit
Using your group.
from using our group, and probably a few other groups too. But we're one of the largest in the world now, and they're
Fucking
making
crazy.
6 figures just from selling kicks. And
Yeah.
think about it. Think about these margins. You buy a pair of Yeezys.
What do you got on right now? You got some Vans on?
Yeah, those
It's like some Lacoste slip-ons. Got
are-
them for Christmas, but yeah.
Oh shit, you guys came through strapped up. What you got over there? You got those Buffalo Bills.
yeah, some
Let's
Chelsea
go.
boots.
Auntie, what do you got on, bro?
Allbirds, baby.
All
There
birds
you
are
go.
popular.
Oh,
Yeah,
those
they
are
are.
sweet.
You guys, as soon as you guys move into that WeWork, you'll be rocking some Allbirds.
Probably right.
Yeah.
Probably right. Yeah. I've never actually had them on. Are they actually as comfortable as people say?
They're extremely comfortable, but you can also machine wash them too. So
Really?
yeah. They say that you can wear them without socks, but they
Don't do
smell
it.
like shit.
They said
afterwards.
they said that for Uggs too, but you
Yeah,
got like
ruins
bacterial
it.
infections. Yeah.
Talk about fire marketing. Allbirds killed it.
I know.
Same with Chubbies.
I was just
They're
gonna
one of
say
the legends, man.
They're very similar, like their
legends.
marketing
they are.
strategy.
Yeah. And yeah. I don't know, but it's I think that's kind of like a new wave of brands or companies where Fashion Nova does a similar thing. Now they're not as like say edgy or abrupt as like Chubbies is, but
No, Fashion Nova is like, let's find the Instagram chick with the fattest booty and let's get her in
Yes.
some of our jeans.
Did you see
Yeah.
what just happened to Fashion Nova?
No.
Was that was them, right?
Yep.
They here you say you were the one that told me about this.
it was
It's like child labor. something.
Yeah. That's right. It's right. They found
bad.
that Fashion Nova does their business, and it's I can't say because I forget the name of the country. Don't want to get sued or something. But it's some Southeast Asian country and they pay their workers like $2 an hour, maybe
So
less.
it's like
Yeah,
the Nike type thing.
exactly. Except they have a
Sweatshop.
lot less than Nike to absorb that kind of PR hit. So it's definitely going to be tough. I saw it on like Business Week. It's kind of out there now. But yeah.
But yeah, they were, you have all these brands. Everyone that's trying to be a brand knows something about influencer marketing now or has some plan to do it. But I feel like Fashion Nova was really one of the OG influencer marketing companies. And that's how, they scaled to be like the
Exactly,
largest
on Instagram.
independent clothing
Yeah,
brand.
I remember,
Yeah.
dude,
On
it
Instagram.
was huge when Cardi B came up and like
Yep.
brought the whole thing up. That was
Oh,
huge.
for like the VMAs or whatever the
Well,
award
no,
show
she was just
or-
one of the. She was one of the earliest people to really utilize Instagram to like really develop a prevalent brand for herself. And Fashion Nova was like, dude, we'll just start tossing you clothes, just keep plugging us. And then Cardi B's like the biggest star on earth.
It's huge. Yeah.
What do you think those what do you think those contracts are for
That
people?
check.
Yeah, because they sponsor everyone now.
Check's fat. It depends. I had a girl up on the show who's sponsored by Fashion Nova, and she has like 80,000. She's a singer. She has like 80,000 followers, and I don't know. She's probably catching at least a G a check for that.
Probably. And then someone like Cardi B with how many followers?
Millions.
Yeah, literally.
And they do it for
Millions,
men
yeah.
now too.
Yep.
Maybe we should get that GeoProtein crossover. But let me reel it back to your company real quick. So why start in the nutrition space for your first like real deal company?
So we looked at, tech, we looked at a bunch of other things, but it really came down to it. We think that what Gen Z and millennials want, what they feel connected to, is definitely these whole food products and these whole food solutions to avoid going with pills and to avoid going with powders and capsules. Pills, powders, capsules, all those are on the out. And we just noticed this huge shift in consumer sentiment and what they were really wanting. And all the way back in 2016, I made the first GeoProtein product. And before the whole RX clean label bullshit that they did, and before all the clean label thing was a thing, we made a 5 total ingredient, all organic, all non-GMO protein powder.
Did it taste good?
It tasted fucking great. It tasted like Nesquik. And I don't know if you know DECA, the high school business competition. Oh, you're familiar? Yeah, so we entered it into DECA 2 years in a row. We went to like the international competition. My junior year, we won it, and at that point, I was like, all right, people like this. We're selling it. We sold out locally, and then that's when Nick and I decided to take this to the next level and really find that thing that we thought was going to change nutrition forever. And what that really took the form of it's a bar shape, but what it took the form of is this versatile product that checks off all the boxes, right? So if you look at the Gen Z consumer, they don't want to just eat a product to get big muscles. They don't want to just eat it just to lose weight.
That's not necessarily true, though. Some people do just want to eat to get big.
Some people, yes, but we're talking about the generation as a whole, not just the fitness buffs. Like we're talking, if you look at the macro trends, they don't just want the low sugar, high protein. They want something for their gut. They want something for their heart, everything. Something functional. There hasn't been this all-in-one solution that's still whole foods, that's not like a pill or a capsule. So we want it to be like almost like you take this superfood multivitamin or this crazy fucking powder that you get at GNC that definitely is not natural, and you get the same results with whole foods. And once we had that, we wanted to tie that to something that was sort of like these diet plans that we're talking about, which we also saw was broken. It's like, these people, they just want to be keto, they just want to be paleo. So what are we going to do about that? So we did something called GeoMD. And you guys are actually one of the first people outside to hear about this because we're kind of keeping it on the low. But basically, it's headed up by our neurosurgeon, the chief product officer, and it's a collection of doctors, so gastroenterologist, physiatrist, we're getting neurosurgeon, we have dietitians, personal trainers, and then hopefully a few professional athletes. We're talking to one right now, and that's very low key.
You want to talk to another?
Huh? Oh, badly. But essentially, we're creating this eclectic group of of individuals that are all in one way or another tied to health and longevity, whether that's from the training or the actual medicine or the nutrition.
You're starting a syndicate.
Exactly, and they all kind of lend their unique expertise and kind of figure out, and we've kind of figured out what we think is the way to make these completely personalized wellness plans, we're calling them, that are very specific to an individual. So you're not just latching on to something that the populace is doing, you're getting something that actually will make a difference for you. And our whole point is we don't want you to actually change your lifestyle. You want to still eat brownies? Still eat brownies, right? We don't care. What we're going to do is make it so you can still eat brownies and check off all those nutritional boxes, and check off enough of them, you will get that end result that you want. So and we could go into that a little bit more, but basically we're making this super versatile, loose program based on the individual's needs and wants.
So, why? I feel like every time I go into like a Trader Joe's or Stop and Shop, I look at the protein bar section. There's just mad options. I feel like the market, and I'm not even meaning to shit on you guys. Mm-hmm. I feel like the market's like wicked oversaturated, isn't it?
Extremely. And you can.
So right now, you go on the shelves and say a bloated place like a Market Basket or a Trader Joe's is actually a little different, but say Market Basket. And I call it bloated because that's what it is. Nowadays, if you want to get into Market Basket as a brand, as any sort of functional food CPG brand, you need to go through a distributor that has basically a monopoly. They have oligopolistic or monopolistic practices where they can wring you dry, put your product on Market Basket, you pay for the distributor, you pay for Market Basket, and then you basically just all of your royalties, all of your profits, all of your capital that could have gone to other things go to shelving fees and things like that. That's how you get there. It's a lot of capital, and
So
it's
you need mad volume for that to make sense.
Exactly. And so in a lot of those companies, they are either part of bigger conglomerates or they are just doing it wrong. And I can guarantee you that their numbers are not going so well because they don't know how to actually reach this new consumer. And so what you need to do is points of non-consumption. Now, before I guess I go into that, just if you do actually go into the aisle though, and you look at all those protein bar options, it's kind of like, why do you need a lot of different types of cars? Why do you need an SUV? Why do you need a Honda versus a Toyota versus a Nissan versus a Lamborghini? It's like, they all drive, they all do the same thing, but do they do the same thing? Like, is a Lamborghini the same as a Honda? I guess in a similar chassis maybe, but besides that, it's all different, right? And so that's what we are. Convenience is driving more and more people to protein bars and to nutrition in general.
And to all consumers. People
Exactly.
just want it to be easy.
Exactly. Spotify, everything else, right? AirPods even, you don't even have to press a thing. You just turn on.
Podcasts.
Yeah.
I also want to say, just to build on that real quick, we're taking the same form as all these guys. You know, it's a bar. It makes the most sense for us. That's the best way we can condense all these super impactful ingredients. We take the same form, but we are by no means the same product. So, I mean, take RX Bar, right? They're a big one. You know,
I love their almond butter. Honestly, sorry.
Really?
Yeah,
Nah,
it's great.
no, it's all you. But, you know, we got, twice the protein. We got half the sugar, a third of the sugar. We got twice the fiber. We got, prebiotics in there as well. We're still whole foods. And on top of that, we got the brainstem we have mushrooms, root vegetables, kale.
Stevia.
And we're cheaper. And then at that point, people are like, well, what do you mean? Like, you're cheaper too? It's
Love
like,
that taste, though.
And we taste better. And I know, it sounds biased coming from us, but, the one good thing about us being at
Where's
college
the
is...
product? I'd love some product.
Yeah.
February.
Yeah, February. Well, we could send you a care package, but we...
Hook me up, fam.
The one...
Well, if you guys have a table here, you guys must have something in back stock, right? You have a couple laying around?
We do. We do.
Make sure you bring them to the event.
We'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically, we... I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
You were saying... We're talking about the competition within the protein
RX bar
industry.
Yeah. So, I mean, you look at the functional foods industry, up till, 2024, we have $100 billion of projected growth, over $100 billion of projected growth on top of a, already, several hundred billion, billion dollar, overarching nutraceutical industry, but specifically functional foods, over 100 billion. And it's like, assuming that it would be oversaturated, sure. I mean, we're not assuming that all that $100 billion is going to these same companies, right? The Quests, the Cliff Bars, what the studies are showing is that the Gen Z, they're leaving the bigs. They're not shopping from Kellogg's or General Mills anymore. And, the startups, the boutique, health brands, the young hip brands are actually growing in market share. So our prediction is, that $100 billion plus of growth isn't going to be going to the main incumbents. It's not going to be going to the, to the Cliffs of the world. It's going to be going to the people like us that actually understand Gen Z, which are the only reason why, they're growing at the CAGR that they are, right? So it's about the different consumer, not necessarily the type of product, I guess.
I feel like a big thing for you guys, and this is a piece of advice I'll give in terms of being in the game now for like 3 years. Don't literally listen to anybody. Literally listen to no one. Just do your thing. You feel me? But I feel like a big thing for you guys is reaching consumers directly and offering samples. Won't that probably be a big thing for you guys in terms of trying to grow?
Huge. Huge. So
Because it's like a food. You got to trust the food you're eating. People go back and eat the same things for a reason.
it's huge. And if you do, so in-store demos have one of the highest conversion rates out of any other means of reaching a consumer, whether it's advertising or whatever. In-store demos are huge because it's like, yeah, like you said, it's tangible. It's like, I can trust this. This is in the packaging on the shelf. So it's just getting those points of non-consumption where you can give out those samples, convert people, and pit yourself against the RX bars of the world, while still just being in the right place, right time.
Yeah, for sure. And just
So
to
you
build
guys
on
got to
that-
get into Whole Foods. Like,
Yeah,
how do you get in
so-
there? I met a guy. Oh, I got to actually call them today. I met a guy who was started his own coffee company. He was just handing out coffee at Whole Foods. I tried it. I was like, yo, bro, shit is fucking bomb, man.
Yeah, it's Whole Foods is definitely an ideal. If we were to pick brick and mortar locations, Whole Foods would definitely be top 3.
Have you ever heard of Erewhon in California? It's like Whole Foods on steroids. It's this like very bougie super food chain.
Never heard.
That's where you guys got to get. Isn't that Erewhon? Bro, I went in there. People had like Louis bags. Everyone had the freshest haircut.
Where was it in Cali?
I was in LA.
SoCal? Yeah.
Erewhon.
See that.
Let's get you guys in
Gotcha.
Erewhon.
It's because it's interesting though because we've secured national distribution. We have two pretty large distributors that we're going to be working with, and one of the decisions we had to make after we got our funding was, do we want to go with a primarily direct to consumer approach, or do we want to go primarily with a brick and mortar approach, or do we want to split it? And at the end of the day, we kind of saw, after studying a lot of of our competitors, studying the market, one of the biggest mistakes brands make in our specific space is that they do the spray and pray method, as we call it, where they get national distribution, they get a little bit of funding, and they roll out into every single fucking store that will take them. Every single store. But the problem is, if you're trying to market to, these super healthy, organic loving Gen Z kids, and you're in a Walmart, your products are only going to sit on the shelves. And, your demand planning is going to get all fucked up, and, you have to pay for shelving, and it just didn't make sense. And then, that coupled with the fact that our consumer prefers to shop online anyways. So we kind of shifted our approach, and, for the first 6 to 9 months, after we launched in February, we're just going D2C.
E-commerce.
Our website, Amazon, a few online grocers we're going to roll out in, but
You guys got it.
all online.
I'll connect you with my friend Nick, who runs Keto Brownie. He'll be able to help you
Appreciate
a lot.
that.
They run boom in e-commerce businesses, and he was kind of on the keto trend. That's why he started. He started in like 2016. It was like, I realized in the market there was no like tasty ketogenic snack. Kind of similar to what you guys are saying, is like kids specifically in our age range would rather just eat healthy stuff. So, but a big thing for you guys is going to be like brand identity, and just like being like, okay, I'm the bar. This is the bar that's the healthiest and the tastiest for you.
Well, what does
Right?
Yeah. Well, what does Geo mean to you? Like, if you heard Geo, what was the first?
I think of like, yo, Geo, looking at a map.
At a map?
Geography. Or
So,
I
like,
think,
in a way,
or I
in a
think
way.
like, yo,
So,
a
like, the Earth,
hexagon and an
maybe, or-
octagon, geometry. But I understand. I read your website too, and your tagline was for millennials by millennials. Is that right?
Stipulation. So that website's actually a placeholder. We have some marketing guys that are going to be redoing that. It's just a placeholder until we launch. So no, not our tagline. Tagline's actually a lot shorter. It's just live Geo. Because what Geo means, the literal definition is of the earth. So you combine it with GeoProtein. It's protein of the earth. And what Live Geo really means is, we want our consumer and our ideal consumer's lifestyle to be completely tailored around of the earth. So when you interact with other people, are you helping the people of the earth? Are you eating foods that are literally from the earth? Are you giving back to the earth? And we've kind of taken all of these ideas and bottled them into this single offering. So our end goal for our consumers, when they get our box in the mail, they get their carbon footprint offset. They get a pack of 10 seeds, high germination rate seeds that can be planted in their specific region.
Let's hear the pitch, Corey. Keep going. Come on.
What else we got? We got
some
bioplastics
stickers in there?
We're on pace to beat Coke and Pepsi to market with biodegradable packaging, single-use packaging.
Yeah. And our box is actually FSC certified. So
What is that? What's the FSC?
It means that it does not contribute to deforestation in the slightest. It's completely offset.
So not only are you eating whole foods, you're also not contributing to any deforestation. You're not contributing to the plastic waste issue. You're offsetting your annual carbon footprint. If you're a subscriber, your annual carbon footprint every month. So we're really creating this whole kind of ecosystem around. It's not just what you eat; it's also about the environment that you're in, and that's really driving the whole Live Geo brand message.
You're quite literally enriching your own life for multiple reasons, and then the lives of those around you. Like that's quite literally what it's about. And so, with that said, then when you pair us with maybe I guess our most robust competitors, say RX Bar, who we get pitted against a lot, how do they compare to that? I don't see any. I don't see any comparison there. And it's just it's like we're three-dimensional. So, yeah.
Auntie, questions?
I don't know about the legality of this, but have you ever thought about infusing CBD into your bars or anything like that?
Auntie, that's a haymaker. Great question, bro.
Yeah, so it's funny you bring that up. I actually think that you guys might know Andrew Foreman K. But basically, one of the other spin-offs of Geo, it's sort of like it's not a subsidiary because it's not actually owned by Geo, but there's another company that we have an interest in due to the expertise we can lend from Geo. That's exactly that. It's CBD and then soon to be THC
and
infused.
You can count on those in a big way being at the event. In a big way.
Andrew Foreman K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He it's called Fusion Superfoods.
He's out of Boston too?
Yes.
Yeah, Lexington.
Whoa, that's where my mom lives.
Nice area.
I hope he doesn't know my mom. We might have some real issues.
He probably doesn't, but you never know with this guy.
He definitely doesn't.
But yeah, no, you can expect to see Fusion at the event. Basically, it's just that. So it's definitely borrowed a few things from GeoProtein, but completely disparate brands, completely disparate products, except they're the same in how they each try to promote a function. So Fusion basically, we have a perform line, we have a recover line, and so the recover line, it's going to be, you go for a run, you need to actually nourish your joints, nourish your muscles, you eat this.
Wait, so this is someone else's company that you're working with?
No, so we actually own, we each own a
stake.
Majority stake, yeah.
Oh, so
above 10% stake.
You
but
toss him some bread to start his thing up.
Basically, yeah. I mean, we took all the infrastructure we had for Geo. So I'm CEO for GeoProtein, Chief Product Officer for Fusion. So, the manufacturer, the product, everything.
Interesting.
And brought it over.
I've heard of a couple kids doing the same thing. They have their own thing and then they help out another company, which actually ends up helping their company. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting model.
What's funny is the name is Fusion Superfoods. And what's funny is, we're on the nutrition side. And the guy we started it with actually owns a legal cannabis company in Mass. So it's literally the fusion of a cannabis entrepreneur and a nutrition entrepreneur making Fusion Superfoods. Which
Do you guys smoke pack?
I don't.
I don't either. Do you?
I have before, but no.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not lying to you. I have before. But no.
I've also gotten high before. It was crazy.
It was crazy? On your Adderall fueled days?
No, before I was Adderall boy, I was Boof Pack Bobby. Got a little baked up. Whoa, got a little paranoid. Whoa.
I think you still might be Boof Pack Bobby.
I don't.
Just by how you're talking.
I don't even smoke, man. I don't smoke. I don't drink. Fully on the grizzy.
Just black coffee.
A lot of black Borfies, man.
It's fine. It's fine. It's good for you. Good for your liver. Antioxidants.
Well, I don't know, because I tried to get some blood tests done recently. Whoa, that wasn't good. Nonetheless.
That might have been from your amphetamine days.
Well, sometimes I do question with the Adderall, honestly, if it had a long-term effect on my brain the way I think. Because, dude, it's that crack. It is. It's that pill crack. And so, mind you, I was abusing it. But I sometimes wonder if it totally rewired the way I think. I hope not.
Coulda. Yeah, usually with Adderall, I don't think it makes you think different. It's more just
It accelerates it.
It accelerates my current process.
How do you feel when you're off of it though?
Fine. Never had a withdrawal feeling ever.
Do you feel tired when you don't take it?
No.
No.
At the very least, I just I don't even know it's a placebo. If I'm not on it and say I'm in class or whatever, I just definitely pay attention less. But again, that could literally just be a placebo.
Yeah.
Just like the drug itself.
Nonetheless. Okay, so there's are you guys having fun?
Absolutely. This is awesome.
For sure.
Yeah. This is cool.
Auntie, you having fun? You sending a text, bro?
Disk space is almost full, so I was just going to write that out. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's okay. We got enough space. We should. Nonetheless, so how are you guys going to market the product? Are you going to start initially in Boston? You guys already have a distributor? Or?
Yeah, so for marketing, we're teaming up with some guys in Toronto.
Not just it's a firm in Toronto. They're
It's hard to not specify, but contract hasn't been executed yet, so I don't want to say the name.
Right. Yeah.
But we have the contract in hand from them, and they're a really, really, really reputable firm.
They're asking for that bag, though.
Oh yeah. Everyone is. It's fucking crazy.
How did you guys? So did you self-fund the whole thing? Or you got other people tossing you money?
So combined, Nick and I have put in close to $50,000 of our own money.
How the fuck do you make 50,000 beans at this age? Good for you. Do you guys just always had money on you?
Like I said, I said I sold shoes. Think about the margins. You buy a pair of shoes or Yeezys,
Aftermarket.
$200. They sell out. You sell them for $1,000. Besides drugs, what are gonna have margins like that, right?
Right. But fast forward.
I'm selling something right now with pretty high margins, but we can talk about that.
Right. Fast forward to now, though. It's
it's not the GDP apparel, by the way. It's something else in my other life. But okay.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah, we can keep moving.
But now, and that was in the real early days. But now it's a C corp. We have about, we have X amount of shareholders in the double digits.
We're incorporated in Delaware.
Yep. It's all very corporate now, and we just, we basically promote predictability in our model now in our actual corporate infrastructure. So it's that actually attracts investor funds. Even when we're kids, quote kids, and it's usually investment bankers, investors, anyone really with money that's looking to invest directly usually is deterred by they don't like young faces. They like gray hair because you've done it before. But we found exactly. But we found a way to really promote predictability and just be level-headed in this process and attract a lot of funds that way. I think
because we almost had, just to address the 50 versus what we raised now, that was when we were an LLC. That was almost our pre-seed. We basically used that to build up all the infrastructure, did all of the R&D, got all the products, basically, produced, tested,
5,000
whatever.
bar
We did a
test phase.
We did a market test phase. Yeah, we did, focus groups, stuff like that. So when we were actually going to these investors, to get money guys to part with their money, which is never easy, we were able to say, hey, listen, we mitigated all this risk for you because we already did all the research. We already did all the R&D. We've tried all these different products. We have feedback saying why people did or didn't like it. We calculated an average customer spend of $55.72, meaning, proving that we had repeat customers. And it was just a different...
Are you selling a pack of bars? Is that what sells?
We were selling boxes at 12 for the market test phase, but we basically were able to just go to these investors and say, listen, we're not just saying we're going to have a product that's going to do well or we're going to produce one. It's we did all that. We proved demand. We had a distributor quote us at $1.7 million in demand just from a few different retailers that they could get us.
And that's thousands of bars in multiple different channels while building up an infrastructure. That was without an actual dedicated marketing team. That was without a sales team. We were, it was early. Yeah, exactly.
And as you guys know, you wear a lot of hats as an entrepreneur. But
you should.
Yeah, but
you need to.
But basically, we got to this point. We started with some angel investors, and then we were able to fill pretty much most of our seed round and set us up in a good spot. But definitely doing it that way, if I had any piece of advice, is try to use your own money to mitigate as much of the risk for the investor that you're later going to ask for money. Because that's,
So you guys have gotten heavy investment from other people at this point?
Yes.
So what is that like for you on the day-to-day? Is it more stressful? It's I'm dealing with somebody else's money. Now it's on, dog.
It's less stress, dude. I'm not going to lie, because what's even worse is when you have this company that needs this gasoline that's money and it's burning it because it's a fucking startup. And, you're unsure of, whether your investor's going to follow through. You're unsure if you have enough money. And then so now the fact that we finally have these partners that are, backing us, that believe in the mission, that very successful in their own rights too.
But you're now
it's just a
accountable
great
to them,
feeling.
is what I'm saying.
You're right.
You're accountable to somebody else now.
It didn't change anything. I was always accountable, to Nick as
Professors,
another shareholder and everyone that's spent time and
Co-founders.
money on the company.
Yeah. Coaches, parents throughout your whole life. You got to be accountable to someone, family.
I get what you mean, though.
But it's like I've always wanted to actually be accountable to something I've built, something I've like had a big part in curating, growing, maintaining. And it's like it's pretty much a dream come true to be able to be like, running something that has true potential and can scale. And
you're probably fucking pumped. It's great.
Yeah,
it's
I know what you mean, though, because it's not just us, and if something goes wrong, it's just Nick and I that have to have a conversation. It's like, no, we got to call up this big fucking investor that, is worried about what's happening to his money and tell him, what's happening to his money. And, it can, obviously, it sometimes definitely be a little bit weird, but more than anything, I guess it is a relief because we went through that phase where it's just like, we just need to get this thing going. And
So
we
what
finally got
is your
it,
day-to-day like? And we got to wrap soon. It hasn't clicked yet, right, Auntie? What is your day-to-day like now that you guys are going to be moving into Boston and you're out of school? Also, how much did school suck?
Yeah, terrible. People there, awesome. But the actual balance
shit.
of trying to do a startup and go to fucking like management 201 or marketing when they're just teaching us retail. They don't even talk about
promotional
online.
strategy.
They don't talk about online marketing, but that's a different
Oh yeah. I know.
Yeah. I have to say it's pretty tough. Like basically raising, say hundreds of thousands of dollars, driving back from the bank or having a big call with a distributor or a retailer, a salesperson, an investor, whatever else have you. Ton of different hats, like Corey said, and then having to go to like marketing 201 or management 201 from someone who's never actually done it before. While all the while I'm kind of doing
Get
it.
me gassed up, bro. Don't do it. I got a million stories I could tell you right now.
We had a marketing guy that we had to get rid of because he couldn't actually market. It was funny.
I had a guy.
Good vibes.
Do you guys ever spend time in Providence? Like,
We've been there a
Little
few
bit.
times, yeah.
so I had just sold out the biggest club in Providence. It's the Coliseum. It's kind of
Oh, I've been there.
Yep.
So I just sold it out, right? There were 714 kids there.
Holy
I've
shit.
done that. I sold every ticket myself.
Was this for a Halloween thing?
It wasn't. But
Oh, thank God. That
it was in
wasn't
the spring. But I had just sold it out, and then I was like, obviously not going to class the next day.
Yeah.
Dude, what?
It's like you
And
just did something huge.
And my professor failed me for the course, and it was a marketing class. And I said, dude, are you serious? Do you see what just happened last night? Are you for real?
You can market, you quite literally can outmarket everyone in the class and the person who's teaching the class 3 times over.
But I'm
And
sure you guys got a lot of stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, all the time.
I mean, yeah, and if we go back to your question, just like what's the daily life going to be like? It's pretty sweet. So the 2 people that we're going to be living with, to make the we were telling you we're going to have a 4-bedroom. One of them's actually the CEO of Fusion, the cannabis infused bar that we were telling you about, and then the other one's his current roommate. But it's going to be us getting up pretty early, hopefully going to that co-working space, depending on where we're going to post the operations up, and then be there
Making
for
calls, getting meetings, getting things done,
set,
scaling.
no set like a 7-8 hour day, whatever, because every day it could be different.
No,
Whether
I know,
it's a
but like,
distributor or
but what's your
marketer or-
goal? Like, you want to just sell as much product as you can?
So right now we are basically using the funds that we have to launch, and then basically bridge us to what's likely going to be a Series A, in probably about quarter 2, year 2 maybe, quarter 1, year 2 maybe.
Can you elaborate on what Series A is for me? You're talking about like the funding?
Series A of financing.
So we
So you're looking
just
for some
raised
more
our
money.
seed.
So
and then,
we
yeah.
did the pre-seed of like 50,000
Sure.
ourselves, and then we did the seed round. We're going to get
Which
some
is the
serious.
initial investor, and now you guys want to get
Basically.
more money.
Yeah, and
But
basically
you
we're
want to make
focusing
money
on.
too.
We're
right?
building
I-
for the next
I
round,
guess
really,
our
in
biggest
scaling.
focus though, and like what our business goal is we're focusing on high month-over-month growth and customer acquisition in our subscription channel, and that's probably like the primary goal. So, proving that we can really build this, the subscription model that has so much value added that it just makes more sense than going to the store and spending more money on it.
And
So-
it's like once we achieve that, which shouldn't be long till we get another inventory order of hundreds of thousands versus tens of thousands, and then and then millions soon. And once once we really get the month over month growth, we really do the subscription right, we can basically prove and show the rest of the competition, say our X Bar, One, Quest, Cliff, No Cow even. We can show them and show everyone else that believed in them, bought in them, invested in them, whatever, bought them, that's not the way you do it. And that's not the way you cater to consumers these days. And it's not too far off. So,
Were you guys good at sports growing up?
I was cut from my JV soccer team, which
You
is
were
why I
bad.
started Geo.
What
So
about you, Nick?
I did MMA,
I was a
good at
hockey
that.
player. I was okay, I
Did you
could
play varsity or-
Yeah. For three years. Yeah.
Dude, you were sick.
Yeah, I was always like fast, and I needed to be because I'm I'm kind of small. If you haven't noticed,
I
but
hated team sports,
yeah.
but
I
I did
surf
MMA.
now, too.
That was about it.
yeah, Krav
You
Maga.
did MMA?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, see, I was always really competitive, but I was never good.
You play any sports?
I did. I played football, and I wasn't good, but like I would get some time sometimes because I was just a competitive psycho.
You loved it, and you'd go at it.
Well, no. So what I'm saying is, once you guys kind of found business, like in starting up, and the fact it's kind of like a sport where you're like, oh shit, I can kind of channel my
It's a complete
competitive
game.
energy now. Yeah, it's all just a game, bro.
I remember I'd always wanted to be like somewhat good at sports because I'm also wicked fucking competitive, and I'd always be like, my dad would always try to put me in these sports. I was never good at them. And then the second we started doing business, it was just like, why the fuck did I ever care about sports? Not that you shouldn't. If it's your thing, it's your thing. But it's almost funny. It's just like every kid is just wired to like sports are your thing. And I just kind of wish I got into business even earlier though, because it's like I was like, why did I ever even care?
You can use your body before you use your mind. In that, like, I can go out there on skates and play hockey, but I can't write a good email when I'm like 3 years old, right? So I guess that's it.
That's not just sick. I mean, 2016, I was 16 years old.
Right,
I couldn't
right.
even drive when I had my dad
That's a
drive
good
me
point.
all the grocery stores to try to get some raw ingredients. But
Right.
it was just different. It was fun.
Right.
But like just selling sneakers, developing games, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. No,
In
absolutely.
high school, middle school, it was.
The game. Auntie, questions, bro? You feeling okay? Okay, do you guys want to just give a quick plug of like where they can find you? And so you guys are creating more product, correct?
We have
It's kind of a
big-
curveball. I was like, yo, bro, I want that product
I
here.
know.
I want to see that. I
Well,
want to try
yeah.
it. I want to try it now.
We have we do have a test batch that's like in hand right now, and that'll be at the event. That'll be around. That'll be to big decision makers for the company. Just all the investors like we got it. This is the new formula because this is the first time we've had the plant-based protein instead of the whey, and I have to say it tastes awesome. It's a success, I'd say. But
Oh, for sure.
How many- you guys had some cool flavors too. What were they?
So
It was like
right
cake.
now, all of our flavors, yeah. So wedding cake, cookie dough, blueberry muffin, double chocolate chip, different than cookie dough, and then also a salted caramel coffee.
What's your favorite?
Double chocolate chip at this point.
chocolate chip, it's got to be the chocolate chip.
That's
Although
the winner?
yeah,
We're-
it's the
we're-
winner.
Everyone's like, oh, why are you naming them all these like
How much-
desserty flavors?
How
We're
much
like,
protein in the bar? How many grams?
15 to 20 grams,
Oh, that's
depending
fat.
on which one.
And what about sugars?
2 grams.
Wow.
No sugar alcohols. We don't do
Wow.
that.
Yeah, nothing like that.
Yep. Steve.
But yeah, I
so,
mean,
so technically, it's kind of a ketogenic bar.
Yeah,
It is.
And if
Net
we got
carbs, 6 grams.
15 grams of fiber. It's a lot of fiber. We got prebiotics in there too, so it's not just it's like gut shot.
Well,
But yeah, talking about where you could shameless plug where you could find us. So
please.
definitely to stay in touch. Check out our Instagram, GeoProtein, just GEO protein, and then follow. Connect with us on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Corey Nobley, and I'm sure it'll be somewhere in the
Yeah.
description, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and we'll send you guys a care package too. We'll get
Yep.
everything in.
Definitely.
Well, Auntie will be back in New York. You got to send one to New York. But
Take care of 'em.
But I'll see you young men on the 17th.
Sounds
I'll get
good.
you the registration link after this. And listen, we start and end these episodes in a specific way.
Oh God.
Oh God, dude, you're crazy. Is anyone else absolutely frigid? Because I'm
Yeah,
dying.
it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
real cold in here. It's real cold.
I'm like shaking.
Yeah.
Woo. Yes, sir. That's that low body, fat boy. I'm dying. All right, so this is how we start and end the episode. You say, "Hi, your name, and this is our golden hour." So I'd say, "Hey, I'm Nick. Hey, I'm Corey. This is our golden hour." Then you say, "Hi, we're blank. I'm Nick, Corey from GeoProtein," and that was our golden hour. So this is for the first statement, and it's that was for the second statement. Got it.
You want to say it at the same time?
You guys should collab on it. Put that GeoProtein sauce on it. You feel me?
Yeah, so just this is GeoProtein, and that was our golden hour.
Well, that would be second. So you say this
Hi.
is first, and then you say
Okay.
that
Yeah.
was.
Okay. I think I could do that.
Okay,
This
Nikki
is-
Flo.
This is Nick Olivieri,
This is Corey Nobley.
and we are GeoProtein, and that was our Golden Hours podcast.
Absolutely not. Blew it again. Goddamn, Nick.
Oh, the podcast one
Listen,
killed it.
this is our golden hour, right? Is the first one. So put your sauce. This is our golden hour. And I will say this. Dude, everyone gets this wrong. It's hilarious for me. I would just torment people up here. So this is our golden hour. Then it's that was our golden hour.
Okay, so you want me to say, this is, I say Corey Nobley.
Hey, I'm Corey Nobley. Hey, I'm Nick, right? We're GeoProtein, and this is our golden hour. Then you'd say, hey, I'm Corey. Hey, I'm Nick, and that was our golden hour. There you go.
right.
You got the blueprint.
What up? This is Corey Nobley.
This is Nick Olivieri.
This is our golden hour.
Bang. That's one.
We're from GeoProtein.
And that was our golden hour.
Well executed.
Are you
on
going to
track
use
4.
those for like a soundbite or something later on, like 2 years?
We're going to put it right at the front.
All right, there we go.
Auntie, give me a click whenever you're ready.